Hey there, it's Dr. Andrea from Make Your Mark Global with a special invitation for you to get published this year by co-authoring my next book. The next book that we are publishing is in the Life After Trauma series, Life Rewritten, inspiring stories of breaking the silence to boost resilience. So if you have a message or a story that you believe could help people, could change lives, and maybe even impact millions, I want to share with you the one way that will put you on the fast track to getting published this year. So this next series of books is a Life After Trauma series where we want to highlight and showcase authors from around the world who have experienced some sort of trauma or experience that would normally make most of us hide or run for cover. But not only have they survived, but they are thriving. So if that's you or if that's someone you know, then please watch this video and please share this video. The Life After Trauma series will have a different focal point for each book. The first book that we're doing is going to cover love, sex, and relationship trauma. So the Life Rewritten series is allowing people to finally share their story, remove the shame and the stigma, and explain how you have not only healed and survived, but now you're living life on your own terms. We know that some people experience traumatic events or loss or a death in the family or some sort of abuse, and sometimes they just crumble. They don't bounce back. They might experience some post-traumatic stress. But then there are other people who, despite all odds seemingly against them, not only have they survived, but they've turned it around and now they're thriving. They're experiencing what psychologists term post-traumatic growth. And we want to highlight and showcase that, because now is the time for us to really recognize that we can tap into our human potential to thrive, to bounce back, to be more resilient than ever. So if you happen to know someone who has experienced the trauma of love, sex, or relationships, and that could be sexual abuse, molestation, it could be even love addiction or codependency, then we really want to share their stories of how they've overcome. Because many people find that being in talk therapy can help in some respects, but the literature supports that journaling, that writing, that communicating, and finally owning your story by using your voice can be incredibly healing for each of us, and especially for people who might be a little further behind you in their own healing process. Now, a few years ago, I opened up for the very first time about my experience with depression and anxiety. This was something that I hid. I kept it to myself because I was really afraid that people would think that I was weak, that they would see me as a doctor who didn't really have her stuff together. And the first time that I shared my personal story, again in a group book with several other authors, it was for the Heart to Heart, the Path to Wellness series. And at the same time, I actually came out in a really big way with my first TEDx, where I again admitted that I had been hiding a really terrible battle with depression. Now, what that did for me was it helped me really stop hiding. It really set me free to just own the fact that I had had these experiences that kind of had me confused about what my purpose was in life. And even though I was trying to live up to everyone else's expectations and I was doing everything that I was told should make me happy and feel fulfilled, I wasn't. Now, that writing was kind of therapeutic in the first sense because I finally got it off my chest. And then later sharing it in a TED Talk and giving interviews, it was really scary at first because I was so afraid that people would judge me. But that letting go of that weight was really, it was really a revelation because I knew that it was going to help me to stop hiding and feeling that sense of shame. but I had no idea the impact that it was going to have on other people. Now, of course, I've seen in my practice as a doctor and acupuncturist and doing spiritual teaching, I've seen the power of what happens with my clients after they start journaling or after they share in a private group what their experience has been with these stressful or traumatic events. There's something about open communication that really helps us end the shame and the stigma, and it helps us reclaim our power. You know, there's a saying that we're only as sick as our secrets. And so when you share your story and you're no longer hiding, you get rid of that sickness. And I have found that being in a sense of a supportive environment like group therapy does wonders for us. But what we're recognizing right now is that around the world, even Mother Nature is saying, no more silence. And with the Me Too movement, many of my friends and colleagues and clients have seen the incredible power that we reclaim as human beings when we are open, vulnerable, and honest. So what we feared would be a weakness is actually perceived as a strength by others, and it's actually experienced by ourselves as truly empowering. And so by being a part of this group book project, you are supported. The time is now for us to rise up and speak up. And so we are inviting people who've experienced some sort of life trauma and are now beyond it. Maybe you have a special technique that helped you to heal, whether that was spiritual healing or it was journaling or meditation, yoga, psychotherapy, traveling the world. Whatever it is, we want to highlight the many, many, many ways that we can heal after trauma. Because as a doctor and a therapist, we have our own highfalutin beliefs about what works, and we've got scientific studies to back them up. But what I notice is there's such creativity in the human spirit when we have to learn how to survive. And now is the time for us to truly break the silence and end the stigma. And there's something that happens when you really finally own your story. You actually recognize that your voice matters. You do have a right to speak up, because for many people, if they experienced some sort of abuse or even just witnessed abuse early on in their life and they were told to keep a secret, to keep their mouths shut, otherwise somebody else was going to end up either hurting them or exposing them. But when you get to own your voice and use it to put an end to either further abuse or future abuse, it gives you such a sense of accomplishment because you have reclaimed your power. And what we're seeing now is that we can help other people by showing them our strength. We can mirror back to others that they have that same power and strength within them. And it's life affirming, it's life advancing, having this emotional connection first to yourself and then being able to share that with other people. So being a part of this book project means you're part of a group, you're part of a global community, and you have the support and the backing that you're not going to be doing this alone. And that's really what the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement has shown. It's like, guess what? We're here. We're supporting you. We're holding the space. And we're going to be standing witness to you reclaiming your power and really stepping up into your healing. Because the most important thing to me is not that you are a survivor. I almost don't even like people being labeled as survivors because it's also somewhat limiting. I want you to be able to show the world that not only have you survived, but you are thriving. There is an identity shift that comes when you're no longer feeling like a victim or feeling like you've just slightly overcome. And because talk therapy happens behind closed doors, and even some of our group therapy or our retreats really happen in isolation, when you come out, It means that you get to go beyond that secrecy. You get to add meaning to your experience beyond yourself because you're helping other people do the same. And your voice truly, truly does matter. If you happen to be a coach or a healer or you're involved in public speaking, then you probably already know the business and the branding benefits of having your work published. Becoming a published author is a wonderful way for you to share with the world that you're serious about what you're offering as a healer or a light worker. And owning your story humanizes you, to be honest. Nobody wants to see people up on a pedestal, no guru worship anymore. We want to be healed by people who really feel like us, who know where we are and where we've been. And so this could be a beautiful opportunity for you. I would like to invite you to co-author my next book, Life Rewritten: Life After Love, Sex, and Relationship Trauma, Breaking the Silence to Build Resilience. You can become a published author this year by sharing your personal story in a collaborative book, all with step-by-step guidance using my MVP publishing process. You will have access to 10 video lessons, a 20-page workbook, and live Q&A sessions with me to help you uncover the gems hidden within your personal and even professional life, which will help the reader get to know you on multiple levels. We will create a life timeline of significant events that can lead the reader on a journey of discovery with you. We will cut and polish your diamond in the rough draft to create a stunning manuscript that you are proud to present. You'll also discover how your personal story can be used to create courses, workshops, and even keynote speeches. Now, by publishing your personal story, this is going to help potential clients get to know you better and will allow people to develop more trust and affinity and awareness of who you are and what you stand for. Of course, you can sell the book or give it away as a free bonus. Being published raises your level of prestige and allows you to be seen as an authority. It really is a certificate of authenticity. Plus, you will stand out amongst your peers. Now, your participation will also allow you to benefit from the collective energy and enthusiasm around the book launch. You'll be with people who have similar interests. And you will take part in a virtual book tour with professional radio and video interviews. So imagine how great it will feel to finally own your story and share it with confidence so you can get free from that past of shame or stigma. And you will actually have a product that's ready to go this year without the long process or cost that it takes to publish a book all on your own. So here's what I would like for you to do next. If this is of interest, then please click the button to join us on this journey to share your message with the world. And there are several bonuses and goodies for you. I want to help you get immediate access to an online training on how to look over your life to select the best stories and turning points. So when we get started, that will be immediately available to you. You'll also get one ticket to my Stories with Soul life writing workshop this May. And because I interviewed so many healers, coaches, and experts along my journey of healing, I want you to have a digital copy of Time to Rise, a book I co-authored with some amazing people from around the world who each shared how they too have become strong, resilient, healthy, and happy people. So you have nothing to lose and all of your own power and authority to gain. Many people tell me that they had this idea of publishing a book, and they even went so far as to submit their book idea to contests, only to be told that they weren't selected because they were unknown or because they didn't have a big online following and email distribution list. Well, by participating with me in this group book project, your name and your story will be shared with all of the other authors on many, many shows and podcasts, and people will be invited to sign up for your list or your courses. And I'm going to show you how you can use the book as a powerful lead magnet to even attract people to sign up for a free consultation or to get on your newsletter. Now, after having this first book done, it makes it so much easier for your next book to be manifested into the world. So click the button to join us and submit your story idea so that I can talk to you about how you can get published this year by co-authoring my next book, Life Rewritten: Breaking the Silence to Inspire Resilience. Again, our focus for this book is love, sex, and relationship trauma. So if you or someone you know has gone beyond the healing phase and now they're not just surviving but thriving, we'd like to hear about that story. And stay tuned, because this Life After Trauma book series will include future editions such as Life After Surviving Suicide, Life After Divorce, like Life After Bankruptcy, and so many other challenges. We want people around the world to know that there is such divine power and potential within the human spirit. So join us so that you can share your story as well and make a difference in the world.